Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, June 22. Just coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning, where the Bank of England is due to raise rates, where some are speculating a half a basis point instead of a quarter point because their core inflation is out of control. And let's just get to it. I will be your sarcasm directing tour guide for where we are and where we're going, as we are now into our third trading session of the week, having had Monday off. 3 red closes in a row, both of the trading sessions this week having been pathetic from a range point of view. 33 points on Tuesday, 26 points yesterday. However, yesterday's 26 measly little point range, we managed to throw out 2 quasi 3 200% trades on SPX, calls, puts, back and forth. And there's no credit out there to be taken. I started the morning out with the credit spread saying $43.95, $43.90, $2. That's it. Needing a third green close, $2. It's not the worthy credit in my risk. 43.85, 43.90 is looking for a green close and a close above that 43.88 gap that needed to be filled overnight, $2.30. Not a worthy credit, in my view, to take on this risk. And the reason for that is because your VIX has been hammered into a new 3-year low, very, very close to a 4-year low, and down here in the 13s, where unfortunately there simply isn't sufficient credit unless you are going right at the money. And right at the money on Thursdays especially has been a drastic decision to make. So going back to where we came from, Elongate, who many of you know, very good, very long time friend of mine. So the 43.60, 43.40 puts $2. I turned around and commented, well, $2, $2.50, $17.50 possible? That's only 700%. Well, he wound up taking half of the trade off shortly in the morning as we were going in because we were getting oversold. And he took half of it off at 200%. And this was where I was sharing the warnings on you need to be awake on your puts because there is an 80% probability that the bottom is in at 11:20 in the morning. We shared that, and lo and behold, that's exactly what we got. So then the day went on, and it grinded. But there you went over here, and as we were going through the alert room, I know that everybody was getting active because I was getting a lot of questions about it. Hey, I need something to do. So I turned around there and where were we? Right there around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 0 DTE lottos. Have your eyes on those SPX 4380 calls. 4380 is the high of the day. 4383.72 is that pivot inside the gap. And you preferably want to be into them under $2. So what did you get? Well, this is going to give you yesterday, and here is where your $2 came out. Right there at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, we were talking about it. You got your dip below $2, right to around $1.20, and your skyrocket up to $7, which is again where we were talking there about take off your calls. You want to be out. You're up 200%. We hit the COVID lows. And then a few of you started sending me messages saying, dude, I faded that because you were talking about that Shaq slam dunk going into the close. Right there, looking for 43.65. That's what you were looking for. Let's go. Let's get it. And oh yeah, Elongate with his 18 grand. So anyway, now that I've wasted 2, 3, 4 minutes of your time talking about what we did yesterday, the point of it all is If you want action, it's there. If you want trades, it's there. I'm old enough to remember when a 200% trade was something that people were actually excited about. Nobody gives a shit anymore because everybody just wants to complain about how the market is doing this and how the market's not doing that. Well, here we are cruising through the 4360s or the 4300s, with the 4360s being our support level that we were fighting with, which is now broken overnight. Come over into your spreads, and again with your spreads, because we have a 13 credit, no alert yesterday on anything because I didn't see it sufficient to go out there and take the risk, although the pivots were there to be shared, and it was more than happy to go and take on the trades if you wanted to. Today will be the same thing because we are in a very extreme risk zone, having had our Thursdays the way that they are, and being the fact that we have to respect that the NASDAQ 4-hour is oversold. So, spreads, have it out there if you want it. More importantly, your QQQ, 2 consecutive minus 1% days, just about to break that 361 yesterday that I wanted to see. Well, now we got it. Our VIX dropped down. We've got a little bit of a gap up, which suck because these gaps always get filled. Until the VIX is up above 1451, I will continue to have very, very little doubt that the VIX will continue to grind down lower. 1451, break it, get up above it, and then we start having a little bit of momentum going into the end of the first half of the year, end of the quarter, end of the month, which goes into a 4-day weekend. So QQQ, where we are right now, this is a big wide view. We look here on a 5-day, and we are at the 5-day lows as of now before the Bank of England makes their decision. Say that 3 times. Come on, man. SPY, the ETF of SPX. And again, right onto the 5-day lows right here as we are grinding down. And I already know right here that Spicy Trader will draw 2 lines here and say, this is bullish, buy calls. Same thing like with Bitcoin. So to give you back a little bit of a zoomed out warning, here are your ES futures. Here is that big 161.8 that was hit over on the SPX as well over here on the ES. And this is your gap from when you had that rollover of the contracts. And it has not been filled yet. And I will tell you, you better be damn sure this gap is going to be filled before we go into the start of July. Preferably, this gap is going to be filled before the end of this week. However, with today being Thursday, and Thursdays having been as shitty as they have been, what you have here on the ES is this 43.82. 43.82 is your break line, and that's going to be the space to go. And right now, where we are on futures, we are not oversold. We are not oversold. We are not oversold. The QQQ, the NQ, has broken below that 15,000. And here we are at 43.96, slowly making progress to that 43.82. Right there is that 43.82 where you can see your wicks right there with your lows. We get down below that 43.82. It's balls to the wall, out of the way. VIX is going back up into the 15-16 area, which means we get credit a lot better than what we got right now, and everybody's puts start playing. So for today, all that we're looking for is on the SPX to get down below 43.60. 43.60, we can start to pressure that 43.40 area with 43.37. 85 being the 5-day lows, which is roughly where we are right now, looking over there at the SPY, looking over there at the QQQ. Have a very good morning. I would love to help everybody in the world to do the best amount of trading that they could possibly do. Those that canceled, see you later, because you will never be back inside here ever again.